Audio experience 11 song. I love today's date, November 30th. Good morning, everybody. Today's show is provided support by Verizon. Why Verizon, you say? Well, better matters. If something is important, it should just work. See why Verizon's America's best network. In-store pickup. It's the quickest way to pick up your hands are down on your order online. Verizon Wireless. And Heather Howard JavaScripts featuring Fresh Beautés. Only from Heather Howard. Get your JavaScript here and website design e-commerce and website development and control somebody's resume. Ruby Receptionist. Answering calls is a smart, delightful callers. It's Ruby. How Ruby virtual and live answering service helps your business thrive. Visit Call Ruby and all they'll get is a recording from Robert Higgins, 4%. American Access Airlines, fly with us. Earn up to 25,000 miles with Princess. Sign up for this offer today at AmericanAccess.com. Book flights, flight status, and check your trips. And check in online only from AmericanAccess.com. AMS and the American Meteorological Society and AmSouth, the Evolution of Regions Bank. AMS, get it, please. AMS. AmSouth. I am a meteor in the sky. Ionosphere. Rhino Court, powerful nasal congestion. Original prescription strength, now available over the counter. Grab your day by the nose. Our alcohol and scent-free formula, now available. AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, Marcus, Sully, Fargo. I'm Geico Princess. The pin drop. Yeah, it is a pin drop. Geico Princess. Sprint home phone. Celebrate the holidays with Visa offers and perks. Save on travel, food, shopping, and more. VisaOffers.com. You earn every bit of it. Team December. You earned every debit of it. Yeah, every bit. Congratulations. You deserve every bit of it. Toxicology denied, the branch of science concerned with the nature, effects, and detection of poisons. Visit toxicology.com. And homogenize human genocide. Good Lord. Pasteurize the milk. Somebody. Homogenize. Let's ask us about homogenize. Pasteurizing the bloodstream. Oh, he's stuttering. Hello, good morning, Josh. Homogenize.
Me too.
We've got Yahoo. Google. Good morning.
Josh, you want to fire away?
Yeah, homogenize. Human genocide.
Josh, I can tell you that the president has decided not to
pasteurize the sapper size.
To
pasteurize the sapper size.
I can tell you, however, that
pasteurize the sapper
Deputy
size.
National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes will attend the service, as will
CLA.
The top U.S.
Pink shorts is filmed in front of a lie. Democracy, Republic, both exposed and approved. Homogenize. And approved. Thank you for writing Emerald. Thank you. Safety video, auditorium station, next station, Seneca Nation of Indians, Nor. Seduction. There's a Nor with a cross name. Auditory nerve receives iPhone. Restitution of all state and federal funds is applicable to a volunteer status of 18 U.S. Code. 18 U.S. Code. 18 U.S. Code. The law is written in this conspiracy. 1385.
Government officials and with officials at the U.S. Embassy.
What's the hold code?
The service that the Cuban government has planned for this evening. And
what's the hold code?
With the top U.S. diplomat on the island.
Well, we can't explain Donovan. We can't.
So I guess it
It's
begs the question,
MCI.
you have two high-ranking U.S. officials.
Put
the
MCI in
national
code, you got
officials
it.
from Cuba and the ambassador
Yeah,
are
it's the law.
attending. How is that not a U.S. delegation?
Well, Josh, there's a formal process where
The formal process, verbatim software,
to Cuba specifically
now
to
in motion.
represent the United States at
A double tissue.
foreign
Give me a
events.
double
Sometimes
tissue.
It's an inauguration, sometimes it's a coronation, sometimes it's
You've got research in
that will not be taking place this time.
motion.
But the United States will be represented at the event by our top diplomat on the island and
What
by
does research in motion
a
mean?
senior White House official who will be traveling to Cuba.
Linwood.
What was the thinking behind
Oh,
participating
Lynn.
a formal
Linwood.
delegation?
Well, obviously, Josh,
Well,
so
obviously,
much of the U.S. diplomatic
you have your
relations with
spinal
Cuba
team
is quite
and
complicated.
research in motion
There are many aspects of
aspects.
the U.S.-Cuba
The
relationship
U.S. relationship,
were characterized by a lot of conflict and
characterized
turmoil,
by a lot
not
of
just
that.
during the Castro regime.
Castro
But we
regime.
continue to have
Yeah,
some
you got it.
significant
Yep.
concerns about
That's
the way
it.
the Cuban government
Adam.
currently operates, particularly with regard to protecting the basic
It's
human rights of the
McAdam
Cuban people. So we
Linwood.
believe that this was an
McAdam
appropriate way
Linwood
for
for
the United States
to show
our commitment to
our commitment,
an ongoing,
An ongoing
future-oriented relationship with the Cuban people.
relationship.
And this is an appropriate way to
That's an
show
appropriate
respect,
way to show respect,
to participate in
to
the
participate in
events that are planned for this
events
evening,
that are planned for,
while also acknowledging
while
some
also
of the differences
acknowledge
that remain.
possession of border.
Josh, does the president view flag burning to be a protected act?
Hello,
of free speech?
Principal.
Does he feel that it should remain that way?
Good morning.
The freedom that we all have to
We got a
express
support
ourselves
question. Oh,
in the
maybe
way
we'll
that we
read
choose to
this.
do so is protected by the United States Constitution.
Let's read this
Similar freedoms
support
related to
question
the
here.
practice of religion,
Yeah, let's read this support question here.
speech, the institution of journalism
Let's read this
are also
one.
enshrined
Let's
in our
read this one.
Constitution and are worth protecting.
All right, we're gonna read this. We're gonna read this one.
The need to protect those rights
It's from Lindsay Renz. We do all. I'm sorry.
is in place.
We do want you to be able to enjoy your trip on American
protect
Airlines. So,
speech and expression,
disabling data is important, even though our
not
satellite
just when
network
we agree with it,
connects to
but
it.
also when we find it
It's a
offensive.
great move. Do you mind following us
Many
again?
Americans, the
TH.
vast majority of Americans, myself included, find
Thank
the
you,
burning of the
Lindsay
flag offensive.
Renz. That was a good one. Read this one. Too.
But we have a responsibility as a country.
Ben. This is from Lindsay. Thank you, Lindsay. She's a
Carefully
photographer, a knitter,
Our rights that are enshrined in the
proud
Constitution.
liberal from New York. Something's happening in
This is
New
a
York.
bipartisan sentiment. I know that
Thank you for tweeting Verizon
there are
and
conservatives on the Supreme
and their
Court
NSA.
that share the view that I've just articulated.
Yeah,
I
thank
know
you for
that there
tweeting us
are
and their NSA.
Democrats and Republicans in
There.
the United States Congress that share the view that I've
Oh, let's read this one.
and it certainly is consistent with the kind of
Putin, why do you want to read
governing
every tweet we have?
agenda
Read this
President
one,
Obama has
please.
pursued here in the White House
Read
during
this
his
one.
8 years in the Oval Office.
You have
ABC,
the
read this one.
right to burn the flag if you want to do so as part of a broader set of
DJ Kerrigan,
freedoms
we don't
for
want
your
you to see
press
you
and
go.
others.
What
Is
app
it fair then to say
are
that
you having an issue with? Please follow and DM us.
concerned
TH.
when he sees the
Homogenized.
president-elect saying,
Yeah, homogenized.
remove
milk.
citizenship from people who
Clean up the milk.
choose to engage in that activity about
How did they do that?
lack of some basic freedoms under the next administration.
Josh,
How do they
I'll
homogenize
just
the
make
milk?
An observation that many of you have made, which
Pasteurize.
is that this is not the
They
first
boil the
thing
milk.
that the president
Heat up the
has
milk.
said or tweeted
Clean it up.
that President Obama
Pasteurize.
has
Saperstein. Heat up the milk.
So I will let the
So I will let
president-elect and his team discuss
President-elect and his team. There's one on the left, one on the
words that
right.
populate his Twitter feed. They
Yeah,
can,
there's one on the left, one on the
explain
right.
or defend those
Who?
positions or those views. What I can do is my best to articulate to you the president's views and the priority that he
And
places
the
on this
priority.
effective transition. And
We'll read this
Right.
one.
spend our daily interactions here
Been nothing. Wait, we got to read something else.
itemizing and criticizing all of the
Read
things that the
this
president-elect
one
does
thing.
that are different than what President Obama has done.
President
that is going
Obama
to
has done.
materially undermine
undermined
our ability to
our
engage in this
ability
smooth,
to
effective
engage
transition.
in.
And since that's the
Since
priority right
that's
now,
the priority right
since the
now,
election
since the
was held,
election,
I'll let the
I'll
president-elect's
get
team speak to the
MVets and MSOW.
wisdom and views and policy positions
AMS
that are
meteorologist.
articulated by the president-elect.
AMS
Policy aside, a number of times in the last week or so,
direct
you've noted
deposit
that
from the
the method
satellite.
that these
What's up in the
positions have come out
sky,
from
Star
the
Wars?
president-elect have been
Star Wars, what's going up out there?
Are you suggesting that
They're
maybe
homogenizing us
wiser, given the stature of the office,
from
for
the sky.
the president-elect to be tweeting less or to be finding another way to
They're cleaning the milk from the satellite.
positions?
Yeah, they're cleaning the milk from the
I don't mean to
satellite.
do that. I think in what I've observed
Katrina
is
milk.
that
Oh, good
since the
lord.
election,
Katrina
this
milk.
seems to have been the principal method.
They're homogenizing us from the satellite.
Homogenize. At least one off-the-record meeting that he held with journalists in New York last week.
That's why.
So
So?
I don't mean to
Don't mean
make that
to
reference pejoratively.
make that
because
reference
President
a
Obama has
who.
found Twitter
It's
to be
just
a useful mechanism
it's one on the left, one on the
for
right.
communicating with the American public and
Like a pair of
providing some
ears,
insight
you
to all
know?
of you about what he's
Two.
thinking about. At the same time, President Obama has not relied just on Twitter.
Just
to
on Twitter.
communicate with the American public and interact with all of you over the course of the president's foreign trip. For example, when he traveled around the world, meeting with world leaders, talking about some of our highest national security priorities. The president, over the course of that trip,
We love Twitter. We love you so
to answer
much.
your questions and to speak to all of you about those meetings and about the way that he was representing
The way
advancing our interests around the globe.
Homogenize us from the satellite.
Interacting in that form with the independent media is not just valuable, it also is
sounds like human
part of the
genocide.
job.
It's your
President
mad
Obama takes
cow.
that
You
part of
got
his
it.
job quite
Yeah.
seriously.
This is an IMS. Where were you guys yesterday?
During his
Well,
time
we
here in
went
office,
out.
but obviously the
We went out
president-elect and
yesterday.
his team will have to develop
No, like,
a
where were you
communication
guys?
strategy that they believe
Seriously.
is most effective.
We were
to
with
inform the
Fox
American public,
Sports.
and
One.
is also consistent with the
The launch
expectations that the
date.
American people have about
Skip to the
transparency and
loo.
accountability for those.
Yeah, we skipped to the loo yesterday
Is
on August 17th.
an individual in a position
3
of
days.
submitting or even subjecting themselves to skeptical questioning from
Lunch and learn. We skipped.
that's a valuable and critically important part
Skip to
of our democracy,
Louisiana.
the success of our democracy.
Oh, is that okay? We got it. We got it.
The president-elect is going to name or nominate Congressman Price as his
We skipped to the loo.
secretary.
Lioness.
And Congressman Price has for a long time been promoting an alternative to Obamacare.
Well, I'm very excited to do today's show. I'm wearing Savvy from head to toe. Oh, you look nice. I did everything you wanted me to do. You wanted. It's on the vest in stores. Audio experience, a love song. Motivational speaker, richest man in America, world, universe, galaxy.
What is clear is
Paint the strawway. I saved your fires. Save me some. The peach cobbler. Highest paid singer in the world.
someone to be his
Highest
Secretary of Health and Human Services, who is a
Tweet us
departed
via earlier late at FRESH.
and somebody who
Yeah, left and
says
right. Who?
he is committed
Who? You got one on the left,
to
one on the right.
repealing it.
Homogenize.
We've heard comments from the
Pasteurized.
president-elect and from the,
Saperstein.
Congressman
Saperstein.
Price,
Yeah,
about some of the ideas
Saperstein.
that they say would
Jordans.
work,
Every 20 minutes of the hour, I wish I could do this ceremony.
spent a little time working with my
Remember,
staff
311,
today
August speed screening process of your president-elect.
to
bribe
develop
auction,
what I think are
their
some
HR
metrics
process.
that all of you
It's
and
very
the American public should
complicated.
apply in evaluating some of the proposals
We don't help them with it.
that may be put
Why don't
forward by
we
the other
help
side.
them with this?
Here's why this is important.
This is why this is
Since
important.
the day the president
Since the
signed
day the
Affordable
president
Care Act into law
signed
in March of 2010,
March of 2000,
he indicated
he
an openness to
indicated
working with Republicans
that
or
we decided
Democrats
this 13 years
implement
ago.
ideas for further strengthening
We're
the
in
law.
advance.
So the president has always welcomed
So at
good
11
ideas,
years
either
old, I
Democrats
was
or
probably
Republicans,
24.
to strengthen the law. The problem has been that the only
You mean
kinds of
it took
ideas that have been
13
put forward
years
by the
for that to
Republicans,
happen?
to the extent that they put forward any ideas,
We're in
and there have not
advance.
been
We're
many,
Qualcomm.
but when they have, they actually have been ideas for undermining the law. Not
We're your
strengthening
chipset of every phone and your Verizon
it. And those were primarily
and your AARP. Am I the future of
methods
something?
of political communication, making
Really?
a political argument, not for actually governing the country.
not
But as the
AARP.
president observed in the
I
context
worked
of
on the
news conferences I referred to
formulary
earlier, reality has a
and
way of returning
Verizon
once you
phone.
enter the Oval
Something's
Office, and you
weird
assume
about
the awesome
that.
responsibility of governing the greatest country
Is
in the
there a
world.
connection?
So,
So,
I'll
there
move
is.
expeditiously here, but
Remember,
I can whittle it down to
read
5
this one. Remember us being lining a 3-ounce Oz. Fill a
metrics
gallon
that you can use to evaluate
size
the proposal. And,
container. In
I
these
think what we
containers,
should measure it against
we
is
have
the
a
progress
peach tree
that we've
loan for
made,
$2,100.
Affordable
What are we
Care
growing here?
in the 6 years or so that it's been in effect.
You've
So,
got
let's start
horticulture,
number one.
McKinley
This
High
is one that
School,
you guys
Tanner,
have written about
Walgreens
the most.
Financial, denied.
Since the Affordable Care Act went into effect, 20 million Americans
I've had
have
many.
gotten health insurance. And
Remember,
according to a recent
18
survey,
USC code. There it is, 2511.
I'm sorry,
Please lines with an Amherst.
91.1% of
Remember,
Americans
intercepting
now
wire
has health
or an
insurance.
electronic
That
communication.
is an insured rate
The new prohibition.
that's higher than it's ever been.
Today's show is sponsored by MerriweatherA.Law,
So
America's
when
first thinking
these new
attorney.
ideas come
We made the
forward
law
to
sound wonderful,
evaluate
the way
whether or
it
not
should have been.
what impact
Retroactive
that would
law,
have
besides
on the
everything.
percentage of Americans that have
Oh,
health insurance.
audio experience, I love a song.
Because after all, expanding access to healthcare coverage was one of the principal goals of the
Expanding
Affordable Care Act.
access to health
Number
care.
2, another
3,
principal
4,
goal of
G.
the Affordable Care Act
Hello,
was
Dr. G.
holding down
Hello.
the rapid growth in
What's the
healthcare costs.
cause?
And this was a problem that has bedeviled policymakers for
Blood
at least a
blood
generation.
transfusion.
Is that the growth in healthcare
Fluid transfusion.
costs
That's it. Fluid
was
transfusion.
higher
Transmission of fluids.
than the growth of other aspects of our economy.
Who would be a transmission of
and
fluids?
The Affordable Care Act has actually had
A
a positive
burrito?
impact in holding
You
down
got a
that growth in
burrito.
healthcare costs. And let me just give you the best metric to
Let me
evaluate.
give you the transmission of
2016,
fluids.
fiscal year 2016, which just ended a couple months
2016.
ago. The
The-
growth in employer
The growth in horticulture
insurance
in
premiums
Tim Horton,
was 3.4%.
3.4%.
That is much
That
more
is
than
much
it was,
more.
before the
Um,
Affordable Care Act went into effect. In fact, between 2000
The transmission of
and 2010, the
fluids.
decade before the Affordable Care Act went into effect,
We love you, Twitter. We
employer
love
premiums
you.
grew on average of about 7.9%.
Twitter love.
So we've cut the growth
So
of healthcare
we've got
costs
transmission of fluids
by more
from
than
a
half.
telephone.
So again,
So
evaluating
Millers
the
Fillmore
proposals
Gates.
from the other side should take a look at
Is there a
the impact they
gate
have in limiting the growth
in
healthcare costs. Again, in
Washington?
2016,
You've got
the
it
growth in employer-based
homogenized,
insurance premiums was 3.4%,
pasteurized,
that is,
Sapperstein.
at or near all-time lows. The third thing,
You got a telephone
is
and transmission.
among the benefits of the Affordable Care Act are a whole range of consumer protections, many of which
You've got the
Republicans
Italian
say
festival on the same street.
that they like. So the proposals put forward by the other
So,
side should be evaluated based
what
on
does
whether
that
or not
mean?
those proposals remain in place.
An Italian festival. Yeah, in
Ensuring that Americans can no
festival.
longer be discriminated against
We
because they
love
have
the in
pre-existing
festival on
conditions.
their street.
Before the Affordable Care Act,
It's the best
women
in
could be
festival
charged more
ever.
by their health insurance company
You got an
for no other
festival.
reason than the fact that they are women. Before the
Infestation.
Affordable Care Act went into a place, many Americans were subject to
You got it.
lifetime limits
You
on
got
the benefits
August.
they could collect
The best
from their
time of the
insurance
year.
company. The problem for a lot of
The
first-world
problem?
families is that if kids were sick at an
Kids
early
were
age,
sick.
by age 10 or
Ayala,
so,
fix my
they
life.
would essentially be reaching the
Fix
cap
my life.
on lifetime
Ayala.
benefits that they could collect from their
Ayala
parents,
sphere.
which basically meant that these kids were
Cup
going to be without
boots.
insurance. Those caps were
Those
eliminated
boots
because of the Affordable Care Act.
are
We'll
never
have to
sponsored
evaluate
by
whether
us.
or not, those who vow to repeal the
Those
the
who
Affordable Care
vow.
Act can protect
People
those
can
important
protect.
protections that are now in place.
They're now in
The other one that's
place.
got a lot of attention is that thanks to the Affordable Care Act,
Thanks to the
young
affordable
Americans
Clark's
can stay on their parents'
shoes, our new
insurance,
sponsor. Hello,
until age
Clark.
26. And that provides an
Yeah, we
important,
love Clark's
buffer,
shoes.
for many young
They're so
Americans when they get
comfortable.
out of college before they get settled
Cozy.
in a job over the long term.
Cozy
they can enjoy the
shoes.
protection of being on their parents' health insurance. So another consumer protection.
Liberty Mutual, hello.
Raised by Democrats and Republicans. We'll see if Republicans can do the important
We'll see if
work
you
to
can add
keep
us
it,
on
and
by
their ability to do so,
inauguration.
it should be part of the way in
End
which
of January.
evaluated. Just two more. The first is, what impact will the law have on
Today's show provided support by
the Affordable Care Act went into
your
effect?
Clark shoes.
The life of Medicare was extended by 11 years. There's still more
Cyber
work to
Week
do
deals.
to strengthen and extend
Save
the life
on
of Medicare.
boots for men's
But
and women's from your
recall that when President Obama took
Clarks.com.
office, the prediction was that the Medicare Trust Fund was going to run out of money by 2017. 2017 is a month from now. And the life
Free
of
shipping
Medicare has
and
been
free
extended
returns.
because of the Affordable Care Act.
25% off your entire purchase.
So it certainly will be
Use
important to ask
cybercode
questions
16
when,
at
if and when there is a
yourclarks.com.
proposal from the other side, what impact their plan will have on strengthening.
We love your Clark.
And the last thing, and I cite this only because this is what Republicans most like to
It
talk
sounds
about,
like something.
and that's the deficit. What impact will their
That's the
proposal have on the
deficiency.
deficit? What I can tell you that the
What I can
CBO has
tell you
concluded is that the
is that
impact
the impact
of the Affordable Care
of
Act
the
on the
Affordable Care
deficit
Act
is to reduce the
is to
deficit
reduce
by
the deficit
$3 trillion
$3 trillion
in the next 20 years.
in the next 20 years.
Trillion with a T.
Trillion with a
A $3 trillion
TRI.
reduction in the deficit
Let's try it
over the next 20 years.
over the next 20 years.
So that certainly sets a pretty
And
high
the
bar
next 3 years,
for
$3 grand
evaluating the
and 20
budget
onward.
impact.
Thank you, Google
of a
Voice.
proposal from the other side, but that is an important metric,
And your
one
Clark
that Republicans
shoes.
have long prioritized. And if and when they put forward their own
That sounds
proposal,
like the house.
it should be measured against the kind of
It's not
progress
certain. It's not
that the country has made under Obamacare. So I
Clark
appreciate you
shoes.
indulging me with the long answer, but this is the kind of thing that I can certainly understand why
I
this
can
may
certainly
not
understand.
end up in the stories about Mr. Price's
About
Congressman
Mr.
Price's nomination
Price's.
today.
Today,
But at some point,
at some
if
point,
he makes good on his word,
good on his word.
at some point, maybe in the next year or so,
Maybe the
he will be
next year or
standing
so.
at this podium, in this
This
room,
podium.
in front of all of you,
In front of all
unveiling
of
a
you.
new healthcare plan.
A new healthcare plan.
And so I hope I'll be counting on all of you
Hello,
to
Dorinda.
just take a look at my notes, and if you or take a look at the notes from this briefing,
Dorinda.
and maybe it could serve as some questions that are worth
Chief,
asking
hello.
about the new proposal.
Crumplers on the passenger
I
side.
already have.
Yeah,
I apologize.
Crumpler's doing something wrong.
But have you evaluated Congressman
Malibu.
Price's proposal by these metrics? Like, does the White House have
Malibu
evaluation
Crumps.
of his proposals? which have been
Malibu
for a long
Crumps.
time?
Well, with all due respect to Congressman Price, what he's
What's going on
is that
here?
He's the Secretary of Health and Human Services. It will be his job to implement the president's plan. not his
Implement
own.
the president's plan.
So we'll
So-
certainly take a close look, and we'll be interested to see
Interested
what
to see
proposals put forward
what
by
proposals will
by
put
the Trump
forward
administration. But I certainly have laid out
I
the progress
certainly-
that we've made under Obamacare.
under
And we'll see
Obamacare
if, Trump Care
and
measures up.
advanced cellular products
All right, Michelle.
from Qualcomm.
In the past, you've expressed optimism, and the
Pre
president
Figueroa.
himself expressed optimism after the first time he met with President-elect Trump
Nipsey
in
Five.
the office that he may keep parts of Obamacare. Now, with Tom Price coming in as the head of HHS,
Hello,
do you still have that
Figueroa.
optimism, or do you think that a lot
Nipsey
of this, Republicans and these people in particular
Figueroa.
are aware of the metrics that you cited,
Who wants to explain
but
Figueroa?
there's still that mantra of repeal and replace. So do you still have that optimism even with
Bin Laden.
this pick that is coming?
Oh,
Well,
read
I
this
think time
one.
will tell. I think what I said to Roberta certainly applies.
Read this
that,
tweet
with all due respect
here.
to Congressman Price, his responsibility will be to implement
Verizon
President
support.
Trump's
We never
healthcare
want
plan,
your
not
data
Congressman
to be
Price's,
used when
healthcare plan.
connected to Wi-Fi.
And we'll see
Please
how
follow
it
and
measures up.
DM
There will
us
be an
so we can
opportunity for us to
look
evaluate it. Look,
into
Michelle,
your
we have said all
usage
along, as I mentioned, from the day the president
at
signed
the
this into
Italian
law,
Festival
the president indicated
with
an
you,
openness
SMG.
to good ideas,
It's on a telephone street.
including from Republicans.
Oh,
for
the
strengthening our healthcare system and
festival.
strengthening the Affordable Care Act. Those ideas didn't really
That's his
materialize.
telephone.
But
Oh, it's
Uh,
his telephone.
President Trump is taking office
That's his, not
with certainly what
hers.
he feels
It's on a
is
telephone.
strong support from the country to make some significant changes, including making
Including
changes to the Affordable Care Act.
The Affordable
and,
Care Act.
He will. We'll see how his
Let's go to the
proposals,
festival.
measure up to the progress that we have made in the United States thanks to the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, but given what is being said now and by whom, do you still have that optimism?
Suggestion
Does the administration
aborted.
have an optimism that
Good morning,
this is
festival.
going to be a good idea by your standards?
Look, I'm reluctant to predict exactly what's going to happen under the new administration. They'll have an
He was
opportunity
24 at
to
11.
put forward their own ideas. And
Yeah,
they'll have
I
an
was
opportunity to
13
put
years
forward
in
ideas that they
advance.
think, for example, in this case, will strengthen the healthcare
Barack
system in this
didn't win
country.
till 2008.
And, fortunately, we've had an opportunity to try it the
13
way
years.
that President Obama advocates, and we've got some
The
statistics
boy
that indicate
premonition.
the real progress that we've made, the way the system has been strengthened
He's
because of these reforms.
Lewinsky,
We'll see if
pre-Monica.
reforms implemented by the Trump administration measure up.
Often when you keep being asked about
I'm a surrogate of the
same
future.
kinds of things, and you always
13 years in
add,
advance.
reality has a way of intruding.
It does.
So it sounds like you have a lot of doubt that what's being said out there is actually going to come
Surrogate.
to fruition. And does that include this whole flag burning thing?
Of
I think
2008.
what I'm trying to
I'm a surrogate in the Senate.
convey, and I think what the president's trying to convey when he talks about the intrusion of reality,
The
is he's talking
infestival.
about his experience in the job.
Oh,
And
there go her
President Obama's
telephone.
experience is that
Her
job's
telephone
harder than it
ringing.
looks.
Talina Berry.
particularly
Talina,
harder
turn
than it
your
looks when
cell
you're
phone
competing
off.
for it.
Her telephone's
and
ringing.
reality has a way of intruding on
Johnny
your
Cochran,
ability
turn your cell phone off.
to
We work for Johnny
do everything that
Cochran.
you'd like to do. Now,
John Cochran.
I think President Obama's record doing
John
many of the
Brennan.
things that he would like to do is quite good, and
CIA.
the Affordable Care Act is as
The
good an
Affordable Care
example of
Act.
that as any. But you certainly can't do everything that
You
you'd like
can't
to
do
And
everything.
That's been the experience of all
RTO
44
experience 11
presidents
song.
of the United States. Each of them has encountered
What does he say?
a reality that they may not have anticipated, that has limited their ability
This is
or
an
checked their
IMF,
ability
and we've decided
to
that
do exactly what they want. Some
my
of that's built into
client
our
has
system.
never spoke
That's part
English.
of a democracy.
He's never
We need
spoke
to
English.
compromise. In other cases, it's a function of
He only
real-world
speaks
events.
foreign languages that we know you don't know. Oh my God, press play.
Because after all, nobody's governing in a vacuum.
We've denied
I
the
think that
language.
contributes to my reluctance
He's never
to
spoke
predict
English.
exactly what the Trump administration will do and how President Trump will act and
He
what
speaks the foreign
priorities
language
President Trump will
in his
pursue. I'll let
mind.
his team speak to that.
How
And
could you possibly tell?
I think it's difficult to predict, primarily because
Where's PHJ? I'm here.
all 44 presidents of the United States have learned reality has a way of intruding on some of the rhetoric that sounded really good during the
Repeated
Is that the language?
defenses
You go-
of
that's what-
Donald Trump statements that people who burn flags should be prosecuted.
That's what it says in his
Is
mind.
that not much of a concern to the administration right
I
now?
speak a foreign language.
Well, I
all
think
day.
there is a pretty strong bipartisan consensus across the country
It makes the
that
science
the constitutional
irrelevant.
right to freedom of expression is one that's worth protecting.
They've been hearing baby talk in his mind.
So again,
PHJ, give him a clue.
part of that's free expression, is being able to say whatever you want on Twitter. There's a little irony associated with this particular situation. That freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, those are freedoms that are worth protecting.
I guess this bubbling up again
Yay,
over flag burning,
PHJ.
it doesn't
Work for the
doesn't
legal
bug me.
team.
Well, again, it
There's no
certainly is
language
not
here.
consistent with the kind of priority that President Obama has placed on protecting constitutional our freedoms as citizens. So I'm not standing here prepared to defend or agree with those statements. But again, this is not the first time that the president-elect has said or tweeted something that is
We're
quite different than
translating jazz
President Obama's approach.
in our language.
Again, that was the hallmark of his campaign, that he ran vowing to aggressively do things differently than President Obama has, and we'll see how it works. Okay. Olivia.
Olivia.
Back on the Castro event, you're not too
It's our language.
Mr. Rhodes and Mr. Electus are attending this in a
We're
private
from the
event, right?
Bermuda
Representing
Triangle.
the United States.
That's correct, and I think if I
I'm
was
from the
unclear about that,
Bermuda
yes,
Triangle.
they will be representing the United States at the memorial
He
service.
speaks
this evening.
Bermudan. Triangle.
During this transition period,
Yeah.
when the president makes changes to say,
I
the
speak
number of
Bermuda
troops in
Triangle.
Iraq and Syria, or makes other significant national security decisions, do you loop in the president-elect's team? Is there
Today's
a
show sponsored
mechanism or
provided support
structure
by
for saying,
American
hey, by the
Accident
way,
Airlines.
not
Relax.
submitting it for approval,
Before the
just to
runway.
say, hey, by the way, we're going to be moving
There's no
X number of
manifesto.
troops
Don't
from
worry.
here to there, and is there a threshold for what kinds of decisions get read out to the incoming team?
Yeah, they are.
Well, Olivia, as you point out, there is one president and one commander-in-chief at a time. And President Obama's ability to make those kinds of decisions about his view of the best interest of the country remain unconstrained by the election. He's going to make his own determination about what's best for the country, and he'll abide, of course, by all the constitutional and legal constraints that are in place, as he's done for more than 7 years now.
Danforth and
But
Dan
he'll be president of the United States
Quayle.
until January 20th, which he'll hand off that responsibility to President Trump.
President
One
Trump.
of the priorities that this president has articulated is a commitment to a smooth and
No
effective
election.
transition, and
No
that
electoral
transition will be more smooth and more
More
effective
effective.
if
if
the president-elect and his team has some insight into
on
the kinds of decisions that are being made in real time as the president-elect prepares to take office. So
take office on American
it's hard for me to give you a lot of detail about what standard is established for something
milk
being needed to be communicated to the president-elect's team. But there certainly is an interest in helping the president-elect's team understand what kinds of decisions are being made so that they will be prepared to lead the country on January 20th.
Pink shorts is here.
Okay.
Mechanism other than the PDB, the intelligence briefings, for reading in the president-elect's team on major national security issues.
Well, there's a transition process. So, for example, the president-elect has designated a landing team
Her telephone
to work closely with the National Security Council and the Department of Defense and other national security agencies to effect a smooth transition. So that certainly is a potential mechanism for providing insight into those decisions.
His telephone.
And as as we've discussed, there obviously is some communication that is ongoing between the president and the president-elect directly.
We
I
speak
can't speak to
Bermuda
whether or not some of the national
Triangle.
security issues that you've alluded to
We're from the
came up in those
Bermuda.
conversations or not, but that certainly would be another mechanism for that information being
Mechanism.
transmitted.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay. Ron?
Okay.
So on the Affordable Care Act, is the president?
Good
are
morning,
you saying
press
that the
pool.
president believes that reality is going to hit
Today's show provided
the
support by
administration and they're
Heather
going to be able
Howard
to see that they
JavaScript.
can't dismantle this?
Our hands are
Well, I think the
down.
point that I'm making, Ron, just to try
Enjoy
to
a
be as direct
Christmas
as I can
lamb,
about this,
vintage.
is that
2016. The return of a
it's one
holiday
thing
tradition.
to use
Only
rhetoric on
from
a
Heather
campaign trail
Howard,
that may
JavaScript.
pull well among a certain segment of the population,
Among
and saying at a rally of
a breeze.
thousands of conservatives
Da-da-da.
who are ardent
Who
political
are Yahoo?
opponents
Da-da-da-da.
of President Obama
President
to
Obama.
stand at a
Da-da,
podium
to
like
stand at a
this
podium like this.
and say,
Da-da-da-da.
I'm gonna repeal
Da-da-da-da.
Obamacare.
Repeal.
It's yet another thing to enter
Danforth.
office
Da-da-da-da.
and be faced with the reality
Welcome.
that
Intel
one impact of the
AMD.
Affordable Care Act is that the
Da-da-da-da-da. Chipset
rate of
CPU.
Americans
Da-da-da.
who are uninsured is at a historic
6035.
all-time low. Or to see that the
Miss
growth
Adam.
in
Da-da-da-da.
employer-based
Da-da-da-da. Linwood.
premiums
Research
is
in
actually
motion.
lower than it's been in quite some time, or that
Like
these
research in
kinds of
motion.
consumer
Da-da-da-da.
protections are actually the kinds of things that Democrats
Actually,
and Republicans alike
see.
all across the country strongly support.
Da-da-da-da.
So the idea of repealing the law, once you
Research
consider
in
the
motion.
benefits, and once you
Da-da-da-da.
have to reckon with the
First
benefits,
BlackBerry. Da-da-da-da.
becomes more difficult.
And it's right.
Is the president trying to make this argument now on a dated?
First BlackBerry. Da-da-da-da.
Is he in
Fox
touch with,
Sports 1. Skip Bayless. Da-da-da-da.
Is he in touch with the new administration? Is he in touch with folks on the
30
Hill?
days.
What is he
Da-da-da-da.
doing to
Skip to the
try
left.
and make this case?
Yeah, skip to the
Or, if
left.
anything, or is he just resigned to the fact that
Research in motion.
they're gonna change it?
Well, again,
And
I
Fox
think as I've tried
Sports
to
1.
lay out here,
Launch
their
day.
promise to change it, I think, is going to be
Promise to
challenging.
change.
If they're at all concerned about trying to expand healthcare coverage or save people money or protect people from insurance companies that may not have their interest in hard or extend the lifetime of
Safe
Medicare or to cut the deficit. If they don't share those priorities, then it'll be pretty easy to come in and just knock this down and put in some other plan. I'm not really sure what the benefits would be, but they'll have an opportunity to make that case. I think that's my point.
My inner voice all day.
With regard to the president,
Bermuda
he
Triangle.
has had a handful of conversations.
A handful
with
of
the president-elect,
conversations.
including in the Oval Office. I'm not going to speak to the content of those conversations.
Good
There
hand.
are plenty of very strong supporters of the Affordable Care Act
Good
who
hand.
continue to serve in the United States Congress.
Good
And many of the kinds of changes that
I
are
find
being
many
discussed by
can
some
be more.
conservatives would require congressional approval. So
Tim Horticulture. Heather Howard.
Among some of the president's supporters, there's a concern
Coffee.
that
Arabica bean.
effort to create a smooth transition, he appears to be not fighting back as
Arabica bean.
his legacy is about to be dismantled.
Partly cloudy skies. Case
I guess
for
my point is,
On this issue, that's why I asked specifically, what is he
That's
doing
right,
to
PHJ.
protect Obamacare or Affordable Care Act?
We're from the Bermuda
And
Triangle.
it is my characterization.
well, I guess the
Day.
point that I'm trying to make is that the most effective way
Does the White House speak
for-
Bermuda Triangle then?
the Affordable Care Act
Nope, they don't.
to succeed
Succeed.
is to implement it
Da-da-da-da,
effectively.
implement. Da-da-da-da.
And I think many of the metrics here that we have laid out indicate how effectively we have implemented. There have clearly been some
Then
highly
quell.
publicized bumps
Da-da-da.
in the road,
Pre-Figueroa. Da-da-da-da-da.
and the failure of the website on the
Pre-Figueroa.
first day of its
Let's
launch
see.
was
Ah.
not an insignificant one. But I think
But-
the results speak for themselves.
Da-da-da. Speak for themselves. Research in motion. Da-da-da-da.
Generally, in the final weeks, what are the president's
Adam,
What does he
research.
realistically think he can accomplish? And given the statement you can come back to about how the realities of the office set in, I imagine there's a lot of reality that's setting in now
That's
too.
the White House to
And
explain
that's the
research in
back
motion.
end of this
Da-da-da-da. Rim.
I think when asked about this before, you talked about
Roll up the
national
rim.
security
Tim Horton. Da-da-da-da.
those sort of ongoing,
Roll up the rim.
important obligations that the president has.
Yeah, roll it up.
But what else is he really trying
Roll
to
up.
accomplish in the final weeks?
Well, there certainly are some legislative priorities that we're trying to make some progress
Trying to
on.
make. Da-da-da. Her telephone. Da-da-da-da.
There are
Her
many things that are going to be left
telephone.
undone.
Roll up the rim.
Unfortunately, things like
Roll up
immigration
the rim.
reform, probably criminal
Tim
justice reform, and that's more than
What's realistic?
See,
Well, the first thing is,
da-da-da-da-da.
Congress has got to act on a budget, and if they don't act by December 9th, we'll have a government shutdown.
Starboy rim.
Anybody wants that.
Da-da-da-da.
We certainly don't
Starbucks.
want that from
Da-da-da.
here. And
Heather Howard.
more than that, we don't
Research
just
in
want to avoid a
motion.
shutdown.
Da-da-da.
We also want to make sure that our men and women at the Department of Defense have
Fidel. Da-da-da-da-da.
the
Da-da-da.
resources that
Fidel.
they need, even in this
Da-da-da-da.
challenging time,
Fidel.
to
Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Research in motion.
succeed
To succeed.
in their mission
Da-da-da-da.
to protect the country. And there has been a
See,
proposal
da-da-da-da-da-da.
floated by some on Capitol Hill
In
that
flow.
they might consider
Da-da-da-da-da. I don't know.
an extension of the
Da-da-da.
continuing resolution to
See resolution
May.
2. May.
that'd be a big problem.
Da-da-da-da-da.
And the reason that would be a problem is because
Da-da
it would
T-Mobile. Da-da-da-da-da.
hamstring
Da-da-da.
some of the efforts that are underway at the
Superstore.
Department of Defense
Da-da-da-da. Every
to
year.
protect the
Da-da-da-da.
country and to
Superstore. Da-da-da-da-da. New Clark.
to start new efforts, new weapon systems and other
Walmart. You Clark.
production
Da-da-da-da-da. Can't.
increases that are required
Supergirl.
to ensure that our men and women in uniform have the resources that they need and the equipment
Let's
that they need
catch
to
up.
protect the country.
Da-da-da-da.
There also is an important fight
Let's catch up.
underway
Da-da-da. Heinz.
in
You
Iraq
Clark.
right now
Can't-
against ISIL. And
Superman. Da-da-da-da.
there are substantial resources that have been committed to that fight. The United States
You Clark
has a
shoe.
very specific role.
Imagine
It's
it.
different than the role that
Da-da-da-da.
our
Da-da-da.
troops were,
Human
or
genocide.
than the mission that our troops were given when President Bush
Transmission.
was the
Da-da-da-da.
commander-in-chief.
Her telephone.
But it still
Da-da-da-da.
requires resources. The
Italiano.
President
Da-da-da.
Obama has made a
Italiano.
substantial
Da-da-da.
commitment to
Investivo.
European
Da-da-da.
reassurance
Invest.
effort. And these are the I'm listing out these things because
Today
these
show
are the kinds of
provided
things
in
that would not be addressed
Support by Visa.
through
Everywhere you wanted to be
a
with
straight
them.
CR. And I think even the
And the new
Secretary of
Honda
Defense can tell
CR-V.
you, how a CR through March
CR-V.
that essentially covers 6 months of the fiscal
We
year
love Honda.
is bad enough.
Wonderful vehicle.
But extending the CR through May and having a CR in
We're
place for
speaking
3/4
Bermuda.
of the
We're
year
proving a legal point.
would have a
ahead,
really
Peter.
negative impact on the Department of Defense.
Voice. Da-da-da. Bermudian.
Congress has got a responsibility
He's
here.
Bermudian.
We obviously prefer that they pass a budget.
Dos
but if they
no comprehendo.
resort to just a continuing resolution,
No comprehendo.
we believe that should be made,
Da-da-da-da-da. Inner voice.
but that should be as short as
Bermudian.
possible,
Triangle.
so that
Da-da-da.
a regular appropriations bill can be
Regular.
passed, and the
Pass.
resources that our
He
men
wants
and
us to
women in
speak
uniform
regular.
need can be
Da-da-da-da.
approved.
No, it's Mr. Ernst.
Josh, I want to ask you about
Bermudian.
South Korea and the instability that's
Our
happening
inner
there politically right now. How does that impact the U.S. relationship with what's happening there?
This isn't
There,
IAM.
as
He's
we
just
make
saying
the
his
Asian
inner
pivot,
voice
as we've
is
talked
something
about
you probably
it,
don't know.
at length for quite
He's
some
from the
time.
Bermuda Triangle.
Kim, the thing I can tell you is that the United States
Thank
and
you,
South Korea
Anonymous. You're
have
welcome.
been close allies for decades, and the strength of that alliance has
Oh,
persisted through Democratic and Republican
Her
administrations in
telephone.
the United States, and that alliance has
In
persisted through
festival.
different administrations in the
Sausage.
Korean
Minion
presidency as well.
sapio.
So, it's an
Rigatoni.
indication that the security relationship
Ravioli.
between the Republic
Mr.
of
Chef
Korea and the United
Boyardee.
States is substantial
Chef
and so
Boyardee.
important that it supersedes
Aurora Borealis.
political relationships.
Borealis friend.
people ties between our two
Joe
countries,
Mascherati.
indicate just how important a relationship this is, and that certainly
Ohio.
supersedes
Escarella.
so
Mita.
the
Mija.
president
Ohio.
is committed to our
Milta.
alliance, and just as importantly, our country
Escalera.
is committed to maintaining
Grammar
a strong
school.
alliance between our two countries.
Our two countries.
investing in that
Investing in an alliance.
advances the interest of both our countries
Advances
and
the boy
enhances
at
the national
13
security
years
of both our countries.
later.
So,
He
obviously
got it.
there
He's
are-
advanced
is
13 years. With Donovan.
a rather complicated, shall we
Benny
say,
Tense,
domestic political
Cruz.
situation inside of
Hayward, hello.
South Korea right now. That is a situation that the South Korean
That is
people will
question
grapple with.
13 on the EEOC
But
form.
the
Witnesses.
ongoing alliance between our two
Who's your
countries is
witness
as
to what
strong
I've
and
been
durable.
going
Been
through?
in contact with his counterpart.
You've got those
I'm not
Jordans.
aware that they have
Retros,
had an opportunity to
13s.
speak since September. You'll recall that President Obama had an
Maurice
opportunity to meet with President Park
has a pair.
in Laos in early September.
She's got a
They
pair of
spoke shortly after
retros.
that meeting on the telephone in the hours after
Who's
the latest
question 13?
nuclear test from North Korea. I don't believe that they've
Put
spoken
Maurice
since
on
then.
question 13.
But
With
we
his
can
Jordan
keep you
retros.
updated on that situation.
What does the president think
Working with
about David
Donovan.
Petraeus and his
Yeah, working with Donovan with Jordan
his
13.
ability to be a Secretary of State? If
Look
that
at
were
question
to
13.
be something the Trump administration would consider. Does the president think he's the kind of man?
And
Could do that
13
job.
years
Listen, as I
later,
mentioned
he
yesterday, I've
was.
avoided speculating on a potential Obama administration.
Obama administration,
Well, yeah,
184.
let me finish that.
Happy birthday.
I'll work on something here for you.
Today's happy birthday is sponsored by Heather Howard
Let me
JavaScript.
try to help. Let me just stipulate, though, that I'm reluctant, as I've been reluctant to speculate on
Connecticut.
potential Obama administration personnel
Yeah, get the
announcements. I'm particularly
cut.
reluctant to speculate on any
Thank you, Wednesday
Trump
show. We
administration
love your
personnel
show.
announcements.
Thank
But
you,
as you point
Connecticut.
out, Kevin, the president does know.
Happy birthday, everybody from Pink Shorts. Happy
assumed some
birthday.
significant responsibilities in the Obama administration, including not just in the military, but also
And thank you,
when he left
Maurice,
the
for your
military,
Retro
served,
13.
for a period of time as the director of the CIA. And
And the
President
new
Obama
Nike
has,
shoes that laced themselves.
always,
Congratulations. And thank you for the.
admired General Petraeus'
We ordered two.
commitment to
Yeah, two
serving
pairs
the
of
country,
retros. The
certainly when it came to leading
off-brand
our
version.
men and
We'll
women in
explain that on
uniform in
tomorrow's show. Thank you guys. We'll talk to
hostile
you guys later.
situation.
They're off-brand Retro 13s.